Hey everyone. Okay, so there's already quite a bit to unpack just within the first couple minutes of this episode, which is that first, the episode starts with showing what happened like during Kuma's rampage, which was at the time more or less halted by Sakazuki as he was the one who basically stopped Kuma's rampage, but before Kuma could could officially be taken down, he made a break for it and escape, which in itself just begs the question: what was what was Kuma even doing in Marijois? Because right now, it's hard to dismiss the idea that Vegapunk added a few flourishes to Kuma's reprogramming beyond the final request to protect the Straw Hats, and I think Vegapunk did more than just made him into a soulless human weapon. And of course, and so whatever's going on with Kuma, it's like, yeah, he's got more than just the order to be a soulless human weapon kicking around in there. And of course, I do got to talk a bit about Sakazuki as well, because admittedly, while I have been consistently one of Sakazuki's biggest haters, as when it comes to him as a character, I do admit some of the more interesting bits with the character for me have always been him is when we always see him kind of start to question things in his own way when he's at his most interesting for me. So seeing him in this episode have a moment of silence, gritting his teeth and questioning what the fuck just happened here. Just what the fuck are you doing, Kuma? Like just him questioning what's going on with Kuma after Kuma's escape. Like those are the kind of moments I really like with the character, where he does start questioning things more. And I love the little expansion we also get on the conversation he had with Bonnie pre-time skip, showing his thought process of something's not right, but also reinforcing just how in denial Bonnie had been up to this point. So the question is, what's changed at all in the present in order for Bonnie to switch, but also just in terms of what's going on with Kuma. That's what needs answering. And what exactly did she, and even more so, what exactly did Bonnie learn from Kuma's memories? And yeah, I'm obviously, as a manga reader, I know all these questions, but all I will say is, oh boy, this is where the fun of this arc really begins. Like, the whole central core of this arc is basically Bonnie and Kuma, and in a lot of ways, and just what we learn is kind of, yeah, it's kind of insane how a character that had so little, like, it's amazing how Oda managed to take a character who, I don't want to say had so little to do in the story, but was also just so much in the background, and yet somehow managed to so naturally fill in the blanks of his character so easily. I don't know how he did it, but he managed to do it at the time. In saying that, this beginning portion also did a bit of heavy lifting at showing us the unrest among the Celestial Dragons is growing, as amid the chaos of Kuma's rampage, you basically see a bunch of those fat bastards, a good portion of those fat bastards basically only saying things like caring about stuffing their faces, or even just their emotional trauma, so to speak. Like, it's, yeah, they're yeah, they're just a bunch of, of course they're just a bunch of whiny little bitch babies, but it's one of those things that's showing before that things are starting to reach a boiling point in Marijois. Like, it's no longer like the sort of peaceful life that the Celestial Dragons knew for so long is now completely disrupted, and I'm sorry, I kind of like it. I'm not gonna shed a tear for those assholes. The only one I have shed a tear for is Mioscar, and he's dead. So yeah, or Mioscar, and I guess Doflamingo's family too. But with all that said, let's finally talk about the main attraction of this episode: Luffy versus Kizaru, and just Kizaru going on a whole aura farming rampage to get to Vegapunk. But the interesting thing about all this is just how much he does, like, Kizaru, even though he's doing this as a mission given to him by the government, I like how we do see just how much he is lamenting having to do this. Like, despite how detached and aloof and aloof he detached and aloof he comes across on the surface, like Kizaru is already being shown that he has many fond memories that are bleeding over from the past into the present, and so everything he destroys in the name of the government here on Egghead is in some ways equivalent to destroying a memory he once shared with Vegapunk. And even though he won't show it openly, it's very clear that this is personal for him. Like for basically Kizaru, it is seemingly the belief that if Vegapunk has to die, then it must be by his hands. Like Kizaru, like in Kizaru's mind, he is the only one who is fit in order to kill Vegapunk because it's the only way in order to truly like bring an end to this in a way. And it does show in a weird like twisted up pretzel type way. It does show just how much he does respect Vegapunk because it's him who is who is killing him and not he's presenting it in a way where he is the one who wants to kill him because it's the only way to show any amount of respect left he can show. And and yeah, the bug of course didn't just clearly stop with Vegapunk though, as there was a reunion between him and Bonnie as well, showing there's a whole like interconnected web of relationships here and how Bonnie, Kuma, Kizaru, and Vegapunk know each other. Although I also gotta say, as a manga reader, Kizaru's compliments to Bonnie of saying she's grown so much and kids these days grow up so fast. It's little passing lines like that where, as a manga reader, I'm like, how could I not have seen that? It was right in front of my fucking face. Like, yeah, it's one of those moments where Oda was being all kinds of cheeky, and I know I already mentioned but Kizaru did ask the billion-dollar question. The government's already ordered Vegapunk to be killed, which is what she wanted to do, so what changed? But luckily, we're not too far off from getting those answers. I think I think only a couple episodes away from getting into that, like because this episode adapted chapter 1092, I believe, and 1095 is where we're finally gonna start getting into the into the real nuts and bolts of what's going on here with Kuma. Now, obviously, the episode ends with Luffy transforming into Nika and stopping Kizaru's attempt to kill Vegapunk. But the more interesting thing to talk about with this scene is just how much it cuts between Luffy and the rusted out robot, like eventually leading to the final moment of the episode where it seemingly awakens. So yeah, that thing doesn't respond to any sort of natural energy source. It responds when the next Nika it only awakens in response to when I guess the next Nika is going to appear, which begs the question itself, why did it go offline to begin with? The original Nika had to have ordered it to go into slumber and wait for his successor to appear. So it's really telling how much the Nika before Luffy really had the foresight to know that one day the next person to carry on the mantle would appear. And yeah, looking at this through the lens of where I am in the manga, it's safe to say there is credence for the previous Nika to take these steps, because yeah, it's amazing how much history is repeating itself when talking about the legacy of Nika right now. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much all I got for this review. If you enjoyed the video, like, comment, subscribe, follow me on Blue Sky, Analyst Crunchyroll, be sure to notification bell, subscribe button, and just share the video around, guys. Dark Knight signing off. Later, everyone.